On the morning of December 26, 2004, millions of people across the Indian Ocean region were going about their normal routines. Families were sleeping in, fishermen were preparing their boats, tourists were enjoying peaceful beach holidays. Within minutes, that calm would disappear. Far beneath the ocean floor, near the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, the earth began to move. What followed would become one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history, an event so powerful that it reshaped coastlines, destroyed entire communities, and took hundreds of thousands of lives. This was the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. The disaster began with a massive undersea earthquake. It measured between 9.1 and 9.3 on the Richter scale, making it one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded. The quake happened along a fault line where the Indian tectonic plate slowly slides under the Burma plate. For centuries, pressure had been building. On that morning, it was suddenly released. The seafloor lifted by several meters in some places and dropped in others. This movement displaced an enormous amount of water above it. The ocean didn't just shake, it was pushed upward. That sudden push created a series of powerful tsunami waves that began racing outward in every direction. Tsunami waves are different from normal ocean waves. In deep water, they can travel at speeds of 700 to 800 kilometers per hour, nearly as fast as a jet airplane. At sea, ships barely noticed them, but as the waves reached shallow coastal waters, they slowed down and grew taller. In some areas, waves reached heights of 20 to 30 meters, taller than many buildings. Entire coastlines had only minutes or no warning at all before the water arrived. Many people had never heard the word tsunami. Others mistook the warning signs for something harmless. In several places, the ocean suddenly pulled back from the shore, fish flopped on the exposed seabed, beaches stretched far beyond their usual limits. Some people walked closer to look, others ran. Within moments, the water returned, not as a wave to surf, but as a fast-moving wall of destruction. This pattern repeated across country after country. Smart CTA number 1. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, take a moment to like the video. It helps more people learn how natural disasters really unfold. Indonesia suffered the most damage and the highest number of deaths. The province of Aceh, located closest to the earthquake's epicenter, was hit first. Entire towns were wiped off the map. Homes, mosques, schools, and roads vanished under the water. In Banda Aceh, waves rushed kilometers inland. Survivors later described clinging to trees, rooftops, or debris while everything around them was swept away. More than 160,000 people died in Indonesia alone. Millions were left homeless. The scale of destruction was so vast that some areas were unrecognizable even weeks later. The greatest tragedies of the 2004 tsunami was how little warning people had. At the time, the Indian Ocean did not have a tsunami warning system. While the Pacific Ocean had one, many believed tsunamis were rare in the Indian Ocean. Scientists detected the earthquake, but there was no system in place to quickly alert coastal populations. By the time officials realized a tsunami had formed, it was already too late for many regions. This lack of preparedness turned a powerful natural event into a massive human catastrophe. If you want more videos explaining real disasters in simple terms, consider subscribing. New stories are coming regularly. By the time the waves settled, the numbers were almost impossible to process. Over 230,000 people across 14 countries were killed. Millions were displaced. Entire families were wiped out. But beyond the statistics were stories of survival and loss. Children searching for parents who never returned. Communities forced to rebuild from nothing. Survivors struggling with trauma long after the water was gone. Mass graves were dug. Emergency aid poured in from around the world. It became one of the largest humanitarian relief efforts ever organized. The global response to the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami was immediate, emotional, and unlike anything seen in decades. As images of destroyed coastlines and missing families spread across the world, it became clear that this was a disaster of historic scale. Countries from every continent mobilized within days. Search and rescue teams were flown in to dig through debris and search for survivors. Medical teams set up emergency clinics to treat injuries and trauma. Ships and helicopters delivered food, clean water, and shelter to coastal areas that had been completely cut off. Governments pledged billions of dollars in aid, while international organizations coordinated relief across multiple countries. Charities launched global donation drives, and everyday people, many with no connection to the region, gave what they could to help survivors rebuild their lives. Yet as relief efforts continued, a painful truth became clear. Aid could help recovery, but it could not undo the damage caused by the lack of warning. Many lives might have been saved if people had known what was coming. This realization led to a hard lesson: early warning systems save lives. In the years that followed, an Indian Ocean tsunami warning system was created using underwater sensors, seismic monitoring, and satellite alerts. Coastal communities installed sirens, mapped evacuation routes, and introduced disaster education programs in schools. The goal was simple and urgent. Never again should an entire region be left defenseless because a warning came too late. Comment below. Had you heard about the warning signs of a tsunami before watching this? Your response might help someone else stay informed. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami left behind more than physical destruction. It left behind lessons written in water, stone, and memory. It showed that nature does not need permission to strike. The Earth moves on its own schedule without regard for borders, politics, or human plans, but it also proved that human choices matter. Knowledge, preparation, and clear communication can mean the difference between survival and tragedy. Understanding warning signs, such as strong earthquakes near the coast or a sudden retreat of the ocean, can give people precious minutes to escape. Investing in science, education, and preparedness is not optional. It is essential for protecting lives. This disaster reshaped coastlines, changed global policies, and permanently increased awareness of tsunami risks around the world. Mutsis, the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami was not just a moment in history. It was a turning point for humanity's understanding of natural disasters. It reminded the world of nature's immense power, but also of human responsibility. Responsibility to prepare, to educate, to listen to science, and to remember those who were lost. Every disaster carries lessons. The real question is whether we choose to learn them before the next one arrives. Main call to action. If this video helped you understand one of the deadliest natural disasters in modern history, subscribe to the channel and share this video. Awareness saves lives, and the more people who understand these events, the better prepared we all become.